cry for Scotland's future, Scotland's path to a health and well-being economy. 50 years ago, family life in the UK was something to be proud of. Communities thrived, families stayed together, and time was spent on the things that truly mattered, each other. But today, that sense of belonging, that feeling of stability and care has been torn apart, systematically destroyed by a Westminster establishment that does not value the people it was meant to serve. This is no accident. This is the deliberate outcome of decades of failure by the British establishment. A reality where the fabric of family life is stretched beyond the breaking point, where the well-being of ordinary people is trampled underfoot by policies designed to serve the elite, not the citizens that they claim to represent. Westminster has turned its back on Scotland's families, on our communities, and on our future. Look at where we are now, parents working themselves into the ground just to keep the lights on. Children growing up in homes where stress, anxiety, and exhaustion replace laughter and love. What has happened to us? What has happened to the Scotland that valued family, that built communities on care and support? This is not just some unfortunate turn of events. It's not just the way of the world. It is the deliberate creation of a system that has long forgotten us, that doesn't see our struggles, and doesn't care about the consequences of its neglect. Westminster has abandoned us. Their policies have broken the bonds of family and community, leaving us to fend for ourselves in a society that measures worth by profit, not by people. Our people are suffering, families are breaking under the strain, and Westminster does nothing. Our children, our elderly, our most vulnerable are crying out for help, and the response? Silence, cuts, indifference. They have stripped away the services that hold our communities together. Mental health ignored, our schools underfunded, our NHS crippled. These are not just inconveniences, these are the policies of a government that have failed us at every turn. For decades, Westminster has treated Scotland's people as nothing more than a resource to be exploited, valued only for what we can give, not for who we are. They see us as nothing more than numbers, as workers, as votes to be manipulated during elections and then discarded the moment they no longer need us. But we are so much more than that. But Scotland is different. We are more than just cogs in the Westminster machine. We are a nation that knows what it means to care, to look after one another, to build strong communities where everyone is valued. Believe in Scotland's campaign for a health and well-being economy isn't just a policy, it's a lifeline. It's the future that Scotland deserves. A future where the well-being of our people is the highest priority, where we measure our success not by GDP, but by how happy, healthy and supported our citizens are. A well-being economy isn't just a nice idea, it is the only way forward. It's the key to unlocking a future where our children grow up in a country that values their mental health, their education, and their happiness. Where families are supported, not left to struggle alone. Where the elderly are cared for, not forgotten. This is the Scotland that we can build. Other nations have shown us what is possible. In New Zealand, in Iceland, they've chosen to prioritise well-being over wealth, compassion over cuts, and their people are thriving. Scotland has the talent, the resources, the heart to do the same, but we are held back. Held back by a Westminster government that has proven time and time again that it does not care about the people of Scotland. How many more times must we be betrayed before we realise that Westminster will never put Scotland's people first? They have had decades to prove otherwise. And what have they given us? Austerity, cuts to our schools, our hospitals, our social services. They have starved us of the resources that we need to thrive, and then blamed us when we struggle. Westminster has failed us. The British establishment has failed us. They have stolen our future, sacrificed our well-being for their own gain, and left us to pick up the pieces. How many more families must suffer under this broken system? How many more children will grow up in a country where their mental health is treated as an afterthought, where their parents are too exhausted from working to give them the attention that they deserve? The time for waiting is over. Scotland cannot afford to sit by and watch as our families, our communities, our futures are destroyed by the neglect of Westminster. We must act. We must take control of our own destiny. We must build the Scotland that puts its people first. Scotland, the time has come. It is time to reclaim our future. It is time to say once and for all that we will not let the Westminster failures define us. We will not let their policies tear our families apart, weaken our communities, or destroy the well-being of our people. The only way that we can build the Scotland that we deserve is through independence. Independence isn't just about borders or flags. It's about having the power to make the choices that are right for our people. It's about saying that we will no longer accept a government that cares more about London's elite than it does about the people of Scotland. We must take back control of our own future. For as long as we are tied to Westminster, we are tied to a system that will never prioritise the health, the happiness, or the prosperity of Scotland's people. Westminster has proven time and time again that they do not care about us. They never have, and they never will. But we care. Scotland cares. We care about our families, our communities, and our future. We care about building a nation where everyone is valued, where no one is left behind, where mental health is taken as seriously as physical health. We must break free from the grip of a system that has failed us for decades. We must break free from a government that sees us only when it needs our resources, our work, and our votes, and ignore us when we cry out for help. This is not just about politics. It is about survival. It is about building a nation that truly looks after its people. A nation that puts health, well-being and community at the heart of everything it does. Scotland, we must stand together. This is no time for division, no time for doubt. Now, more than ever, we need to unite, truly unite, as one people, as one nation, with one clear vision for the future. It does not matter where you come from or who you voted for in the past. What matters is that we all share the same desire: a better, fairer, more equal Scotland. The challenges that we face are immense, but we are stronger when we stand together, when we believe in ourselves, when we believe in what we can achieve. We must rise above the divisions that Westminster has sown amongst us. We must rise above the fear and the doubt that they have instilled in us over the decades. Let us remind ourselves of who we truly are: a people of compassion, a people of resilience, a people of solidarity, a people who have never been afraid to fight for what is right, a people who know that a better future is possible, if only we have the courage to reach for it. Scotland, we can build the nation that we've always dreamed of, a nation that looks after its people, that puts every single citizen at the heart of its vision, a nation where no child is left hungry, where no family is left struggling, where no one is left behind. But we cannot do it alone. We must stand together. We must believe in ourselves. We must believe in our future. This is our time. This is our future. Let's build it together.